Hello, it's me again. Today I want to show you my DVD collection of Mission Impossible. So I have here in my hand Mission Impossible 4 movie set. Now for a context, I do not have the complete set of Mission Impossible. I do not have the newer movies of Mission Impossible. I only have these 4 movies because these are the only 4 films that are available in my area, in my region. So it is rather difficult for me and for other fellow collectors in my area to have a complete set. So I would often find some comments from people asking or a question, why can't your collection be complete? That is because of the distribution and because of the situation in my area. That is simply not possible to collect sets. So it's really rare in my area to have a complete set of practically anything because of the film rights and distribution. Now, for example, those Disney films, I can't really have the complete set of any Disney film like in a very uniformed package design. I can't have the complete set of the Ghibli films in the J-Kid Steelbook because of the distribution. They simply aren't available in my area. And for example, the thing about the distribution rights went from different companies. They were distributed by one company today, and then the next day it's distributed by a different company. So the studios themselves, they did not distribute the movies directly, but they had regional or local distributors that were distributing movies in my area. But this is a sample of how complicated the entire distribution things really was. Warner Brothers films were distributed by a company called Vision. This is just a sample from, I think, 1994 or the mid-90s all the way to the 2010s, the early 2010s, perhaps 2010 through 2012. They were distributed by this company called Vision, not Warner Brothers themselves. Take a look at that. This is clearly Warner Brothers movies. But then later in 2013 or 14, the distribution rights went into a different company called the Duta Mitra. So one day, this DVD package of Wonder Woman was displayed in a booth of Vision booth, and then the moment the distribution rights went into this company called Duta Mitra, they pulled everything from the Warner Brothers catalog from the Vision store, and to the Duta Mitra, then they just slap the sticker right there. So this is why the sticker is just sloppy. This is not really good sticker, because they're just trying to hide the Vision label. So underneath this one, this white label, is there actually a Vision label exactly like this one. So that is how complicated and easily mixed up the distribution rights in my area once was. Now go back to Mission Impossible, why I simply couldn't have the complete set of Mission Impossible. That is because the distributor for Paramount movies, they shut down in 2015. So the last movie, I think, that were distributed by the same distributor was DreamWorks Home. Home was distributed in early 2000 or mid 2015 because the movie was released in March 2015, the movie Home. And the movie Rogue Nation, the 5th film of Mission Impossible, was released in July 2015. So that is after the company just stopped, releasing or distributing new movies. So early 2015 movies, they got released, but from mid to the late 2015 movies, they never got released in my area. So the only available option for Mission Impossible that was sold locally in my area in Indonesia is this set, Mission Impossible 4 movie set. It includes Mission Impossible 2, Mission Impossible 3, and Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. So this is like the movie, the franchise was frozen in time in my area because only 4 movies available. So let's just take a look at the package design after that little context. That is the design of the front cover of the box set. That is the design of the spine. And that is the design of the back. There is the individual DVD, so the package of the individual DVD is not uniformed. That is Mission Impossible, Mission Impossible 2, Mission Impossible 3, and then Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. So when they decided to shut down the distribution, they really shut down the distribution. So I got this one like perhaps 50% off. They were just clearing up the warehouse. They were selling brand new video CDs for $1 at the time, and DVDs probably like $3 or $4 each. And then, but never Blu-ray. Blu-ray, I think it was still in the same price. They didn't, have a discount for that. Usually when this happened in countries like the US, they were just shutting down the physical store. But here in my area, the distributor really shut down. So they're not only seizing the, closing down the real physical store, but they're also closing down the entire company. So it's really, we really no longer have the distribution for these movies. And also because it was quite early in the world of physical media, it was before 4K even got released, because 4K was released in 2016 and the entire company of this distribution was shut down in 2015. And also the Blu-ray, I don't think they ever released the Blu-ray and complete set of Mission Impossible. So it's just, again, it's so difficult to, if you're a completionist living in this country, you simply can't have that because it's just not available or not possible. The only way is to import, of course. That will cost you a lot more, and also it will take a lot more time because you need to hunt down, individual releases in from different countries. But let's just take a look at the discs, the individual films. Let's start from the first one. That is the DVD of Mission Impossible, the first one. That's the design of the front cover. That is the design of the spine. And that is the design of the back. Inside is the disc. There's nothing special about this one. And then next we have Mission Impossible 2. That is the design of the front cover. That is the design of the spine. And that is the design of the back. And inside, that is the design of the disc. Move to the third movie, Mission Impossible 3. That is the design of the front cover. That is the design of the spine. And that's the design of the back. Inside, that is the disc. Then the final one that's available in this area is Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. That is the design of the front cover. That is the design of the spine. And that is the design of the back. And inside, that is the design of the disc. This one is aligned to the first one, but different from the second and the third one. So there you go, 4 available titles in Indonesia. Only 4 again because the distributor shut down in 2015. The 5th movie of Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation, was released in 2015, but it was released in July 2015. As I mentioned before, the last movies that were distributed here from Paramount or DreamWorks, because DreamWorks was part of Paramount at the time, or not. But yeah, they have the same distributor. The distributor for DreamWorks movies were the same as the distributor for these Paramount movies in my area, even though at the time DreamWorks rights were already licensed with 20th Century Fox, but the distributor for the 20th Century Fox at the time was the same as the distributor for Paramount. So yeah, there you go. Only 4 titles available here. So this is why I really am interested in different releases from different countries, because we do have different releases in different countries. They have different rules, they have different distributors. Perhaps this one is available in one country but not in other countries, and that's what makes it really, really interesting for me. So, and also a reminder for myself not to compete with other collectors. When you see people's collection is like complete, you need to take into account where they purchase that and when they're living, because different regions, they have different situation, different circumstances. Perhaps when you see people having a collection that is incomplete, perhaps that is situational, because it's just not possible. If I want to collect the complete set, the entire set of Mission Impossible, it would not be possible unless I import the box from other countries, from the US or the UK. But that would not make it a local stuff. That would not make it an Indonesian release. So still, the Indonesian release, the most complete one that you can get is this 4 movie set. So yeah, I actually really, really envy you guys if you still have the physical media distribution in your country and you can still collect the movies in a complete set, especially like those Disney movies. When I saw people's collection about their O-ring, Disney collection, it was just so beautiful, but I can't have that because it's just not available here. Even the release of the Platinum editions and the Special edition, there are slight differences between each country. For example, the Platinum edition in my area, they never got the slipcover, but in the US, the first print, they always got the slipcover. It's only on the later prints that they do not have the slipcover. The type of the paper that they use for the front cover is also different. There are slight differences in the in the artwork of the cover, but they're still in the same line. That is the Platinum edition line. I think that is all that I wanted to share with you at this very moment, because nothing really special about this one. This is just a reminder for myself about the history of physical media distribution in this country. If you're still with me, I sincerely say thank you very much. Take care and goodbye.